Okay, but how about if you look at it this way,
Mm-hmm.
right? And, I can't speak on someone from a Black perspective. I'm speaking on it from my perspective,
Okay.
right? But you're a rapper,
Yeah.
right? You grew up in Compton.
Yep.
By seeing Eazy-E blow up in Compton, I'm gonna guess that you said, hey, I could do this, because here's this guy who
But
I
he
see
was somebody I
around.
could relate to. You understand what I'm saying? I
Okay.
could relate to him. I can't even relate to a person that went to Harvard Law School and things like this. Like, we come from two different worlds. You understand what I'm saying?
I mean, you see where I'm going with this,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Right. What I'm saying is, you and I are old enough to remember that we probably wouldn't have guessed to see a Black president in our lifetime.
Absolutely.
Like Chris Rock would make jokes about it. You'll never see a Black vice president. The first thing they'll do is shoot the president, and then this guy will become president himself. Or,
Right.
Tupac, even though it'd be heaven sent, we ain't ready for a Black president. I'm sure I'm messing
Yeah,
up.
but I mean, the thing is that I think the reason why we even had that hope, you know what I'm saying? Even though we thought it was far-fetched back then, but the reason why we had the hope was to see something change for us as a people, to see racism, kind of, get bleeded out a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, we was hoping for change for us as a people, man. We've been getting the short end of the stick for a long time, Vlad. You know what I'm saying? Race-wise in this country. And the only reason why we had hopes of that ever happening was to kind of change some of that. And it didn't change. And I didn't think it was. And that's why I couldn't get excited. You know?
Yeah. But you now have a generation of kids, and you have kids, that are growing up and saying, hey, I could be president one day as a Black person.
Yeah.
Whereas
I
before
doubt
it's
if it
like,
ever happens again.
maybe I'll join the government, but I'll never be president because you've never had one before.
Yeah.
And this is, whether you want to look at it however you want to look at it, it is potentially the most powerful position in the world.
Yeah.
The president of the United States. If not the most powerful, definitely one of them,
Absolutely.
a small handful.
Absolutely.
So to have that level of power, to be able to deploy 100,000 troops, to influence laws, to change, I can't tell you, Obamacare, getting rid of pre-existing conditions, I think was a game changer in the way that the health system works in the United States.
Okay.
Because up until that time, let's just say you didn't have health insurance, and then you end up getting cancer or HIV or something, and now I need health insurance. They'll say, well, you already had this, so we'll cover you for everything except for this. You see what I'm saying? It was a very dirty system.
Right.
Which
the system
Obama
is
got rid
dirty.
of.
Yeah, the medical system been dirty, bro.
Right. So I don't know, man. I mean, listen, did Obama focus on the Black community? No. Not. I never saw any indication of it, and everyone I spoke to are saying pretty much what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I think symbolically, it was a very important step. Like, now you potentially have Kamala Harris as a vice president. That would have been hard to do without an Obama as a president.
Yeah, for me, it doesn't make a difference if they still think like the people who've come before them. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make a difference. The color don't matter to me, bro. It's like, are you a human being or no? You understand what I'm saying? Like, can you reason with the average person in this country who doesn't have the same background that you have? Can you understand our plight? Sometime, like, we ain't asking you to come save us, but goddamn, like, show us something other than the lies that you guys been preaching, you know what I'm saying, most of my life. You get on camera, you say one thing, vote for me, but for what? Vote for you for what?
Yeah, no, I feel you. Well, like I said, by the time this comes out, we're either going to know who's the president or it's going to be a big mess for the next couple of weeks or months.
I don't think nothing's going to change, to be honest. I just don't. It's just hype. Most of this shit is hype, man. Once the hype die, then we'll be able to see exactly what's going on. And I'm sure it's going to be the same old shit.